Hello racing fans, and a warm welcome to Trackside, proudly brought to you by World Sports Betting. Bet with the best, bet with WSB. What's happening this weekend, guys? Well, it is a doubleheader locally. We got Turffontein on Saturday, and then we move over to Greyville on Sunday. I trust that everybody's well, had a fair week considering the results that we've been having throughout the week. If you've made some money and you've shown a profit, well played, and hopefully things could get better over the weekend, because it looks competitive racing both Saturday and Sunday. And as always, we got our 4 to follow on Trackside. So away we go with those 4 horses, and our day will begin on Saturday early, race number 1, and we're going with the filly that I think will be priced up in the red. When I look at the opposition that she takes on, I think she could be an overwhelming favorite here in race number 1, and her name is Rima. She's trained by Mike de Kock. She'll be partnered by JP van der Merwe. And when you look at her 2 runs to date, well, both her starts she's just found 1 too good on the day. On debut, it was on the inside track where she was poorly drawn, 9 out of 12, and she was given a chance by Keegan de Mello, and she made steady progress through the field when finishing second. And then next time out, it was down the straight at Turffontein over 11.60, and that day she showed good early pace and speed, and she just found 1 too good on the day, beaten by a filly called Maharani. Now from that form line, Miss Daisy, who was third, has come out to win, and we saw Maharani follow up on that maiden win and win very well midweek for the Paul Peter stable. Having watched both the runs, I see no problem with this distance of 14.50, stepping up in distance. And when you look at where she is drawn, well, she'll have the run of the race. She's pole position, 6 Rema, and I think whatever beats her will win. She looks like a very hard horse to oppose, and she hopefully will get trackside off to a flying start. Race number 1, horse number 6. Rima. Where do we go from there? Well, it's quick and fast at Turffontein, because I'm hoping that this favorite double arrives, races 1 and 2, and the top one in race number 2 will no doubt be in the red as well. Out of the Darkness, Johan Janssen van Vieren will team up with Kevin Lerena, and this son of Gimme the Green Light, barring that last start, the form is solid. Just go and have a look at his profile to date. He won his first 2 starts. He then ran a decent second behind Litigation. And then 3 starts back, it was the Tony Ruffle Stakes. And that day he went down the narrows of Martins. It was heads up, heads down. Put in a determined challenge. It went to the photo finish, and it went against him, against William Robertson. And then his penultimate start, well, the World Sports Betting Gauteng Guineas, I thought that was an absolute blinder behind Safe Passage, running a decent third that day before an indifferent run last time out. And we are not going to judge him on his last start, obviously not. We're going to judge him on his previous form. I'm just willing to excuse that last start. There's nothing obvious that was reported wrong. Nothing in the comments section in the form guide that I'm using as well. So we're just going to put it down to an off run on the day. And of course it was over 1800 meters as well. And he now is down in distance, of a distance that he's done well over, showing in the World Sports Betting Guineas that 1600 meters is no problem for him. So this rating, I need to talk about the merit rating of this horse, because I'm hoping that the handicapper has got his sums right here, because he was pushed up from an 89 to a 104 for running, what was that, Tony Ruffle. He ran second in the Tony Ruffle behind William Robertson. He was then pushed up from a 104 to a 110 for running third to Safe Passage. So he's got some hefty points for placing in those features that he's lost, so should I say his 2 previous run prior to that last start in the South African Classic, sponsored by World Sports Betting. So when you look at the best weighted column, he's a clear standout. Nothing comes close to him. He's a full, 105 and an 86, 19 pounds, which is 9.5 kgs better off with the next 2, which is Wafif and About to Storm. So he's well clear in the best weighted column, and If the handicappers got it right or close to that, there should be no race over 1600 meters. It just looks like the right type of race for him to notch up that third career win, this graduation, placed number 1 out of the darkness. So I think he should be too good for this field. A clear standout at the weights. The form's clear to see if you're going to ignore his last start, and I think he should win and win well. Yeah, race number 2, horse number 1 out of the darkness. So those are the 2 runners that I picked out at Turffontein. Quick and fast, as I mentioned, races 1 and 2. And then it is Greyville on Sunday, and our first of our 2 horses to follow at Greyville will come up in race number 3, and it's going to be the visiting stable of Clinton Binder here, and I'm going with the obvious horse in black and white. I say the obvious horse because this filly Picara, she's had a fair share of chances. She's having a 12th run today, but she's had 7 places, of which 5 of them she's finished in the number 2 box, including a penultimate start where she did travel to KZN, raced over the course and distance, and she found 1 better on the day. She was beaten by a filly called Global Secret, who came out to run a very good second out the maidens. And from that form line, Candy for My Mummy has come out to win for Com Naidu. So that's form line's looking good. And then after that start, she went back to Gauteng. She raced at the Vaal over 1400 meters, again partnered by Keegan de Mello, as she was at a penultimate start. And that day, the way she was traveling, I thought she was going to go from gun to tape, but it was not to be. She was caught late. She was beaten by Red Carpet Girl. And now back at Greyville on Sunday, she's got the draw nicely drawn in this field with the champion jockey elect and Warren Kennedy up. And I had a good look at the opposition here, and with all due respect, it's not the strongest field around. It looks like the right race for her. And when I want to do try and beat her with anything, only because she's had so many chances, she only finds 1 or 2 better on the day, I must admit I couldn't come up with anything. So she is going to be a confident selection here, and hopefully she can finally get the job done for the connections here. Number 5, Picara, in race number 3. Then we have to wait for the lucky last at Greyville on Sunday, because we went for a horse last time out, and we're going to follow up confidently last time out as well, and the horse won very, very well. I must give compliments to the stable of Lorenzo Karim, who are having a wonderful run with their horses. And yes, you guessed it, it is Al's My Daddy, who's come back exceptionally well. This horse was given a long break back in May last year, 8 months to be exact, and he's had 3 runs since. He's had a good second. He then followed that up with a cracking good 4th in the Fever Tree before winning very, very easily at his last start. Of course, last time out, it looked like the right field, where the average rating was a low one compared to his penultimate start in the Fever Tree. And the handicapper, well, he's pushed him up from a 77 to an 83 for that win. But just the manner in which he won last time out, he made it look very simple. Positive ride by Anton Marcus to the front. And I gave him his head, halfway down the lane at Greyville, and that was it. The balance was just chasing, but they were not going to get to this individual. The race was already won the way, Anton just dictated and set his own fractions up front. Now, there are weight turnarounds, etc., that are against him when you have a look at some of the horses that he's raced against. But I'm hoping that this 6 pounds a hike in the rating is not too much of a penalty to see him follow up again. I actually think he'll be up to the task at hand. Number 4, Al's My Daddy. And over this 1400 meter trip, when you look at his profile, if you pull his entire profile out, all of his wins, all 4 of his wins have all been over a mile, but he hasn't done too badly over 7 furlongs. He's had 2 starts for a 2nd and a 3rd, and the way he won last time out, I see it no different in the riding of him, just to the front, Let him set his own fractions. That's where he's best and most deadly, when he dictates. And over the 7 furlong trip from the draw, he's going to have the run of the race, and hopefully he can deliver as he did last time out for trackside. So that's number 4, Al's My Daddy. So those are the 4 that we picked out, guys. The 4 will be up on the World Sports Betting menu, and the 2 trebles will come up. And again, just to recap on those 4 horses that we're going to be following, it's race 1, Rima at Turffontein, race 2, Out of the Darkness at Turffontein, and then we got 2 horses at Greyville on Sunday, race 3, Picara, and of course the 9th race, Al's My Daddy. And that is the wrap of this weekend's Strike Side. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and hopefully everything goes according to plan with the horses as well. And maybe this trackside trebles could arrive as well. We got 2 trebles up. If you want, you can play a Yankee with all 4, maybe take all 4 to win as well. But on behalf of World Sports Betting, as always, thanks to all the punters, but more importantly and more especially, thanks to you, the valued customer. Until next weekend, you take care. Salaniga.